Hey everybody, and welcome to another segment of Courageous Conversations. We have two wonderful community members today. They'll introduce themselves, but we'll get this thing started. Mr. Garcia and Mr. Smithpeters, just introduce yourselves for our crowd.
Thank you. Eddie Garcia, we do the Spanish newspaper. It's called Amigo. I was telling David a while ago, within next week, man, we're going to be doing 21 years.
Oh my good, 21 years in hope.
21 years.
That's fantastic.
The Spanish newspaper.
Fantastic. Thank you, sir.
I'm with another media outlet. We haven't gone so long, but we're SWORK Today, SWARKTODAY with a dot between SWORK and Today. Important to put that in. And I'm the general assignments reporter.
And your name is?
Jeff Smithpeters.
That's right. Very good. Okay, so guys, we're going to kick it off by just talking about things that you like or things that you know about that you like within Hope as a community or within the Hope Public Schools. So this is open to either one of them.
Yeah. Well, I just love being able to come back and immediately sort of resume my part in the community. People are very communicative and open and friendly. I grew up in Hope and experienced that. It was wonderful, wonderful thing. And to come back, these many years later, and resume that was a terrific thing. And I can't really get enough of it. Also, Hope, I think, rewards almost any kind of curiosity or interest. There are always things to get involved with or see that you can enjoy, and so that's a part of Hope that I'm glad to see that's very healthy and very real.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Hope has always been good for family, for people that like to do good. You might not get rich in here, but you will live great. Mm-hmm. You will raise your kids. Mm-hmm. You will have a nice neighborhood, regardless of what part of the town you live. Mm-hmm. But comparing with Texarkana, Hot Springs, other cities, there's no comparison.
So I agree. I think Hope has a nice standard of living. The cost of living is lower. The standard of life, I think, is good. To your point about curiosity, I found that to be true. When I moved here around 2 years ago, there's lots of interest in things that kids are involved in, that adults are involved in, and we're just proximity-wise, we're close enough to a lot of different cities to be able to do other things as well. What about the school district? So we've known each other all around a little bit over a year now, all of us. So what do you know about the school district that you think is maybe a positive thing?
Well, I see great energy and great eagerness to kind of move forward. I see a great spirit of transparency as well. I mean, accessibility to people like us in the media is not a mainstay normally of school districts that I've worked within. So I commend you on that. And I'm just excited as I could be about the magnet grant that's coming. I'm a many years, many decades English major, and to see that part of the grant is going to address such things as maybe creating a drama club and some student theater and
journalism,
yeah. which I practice, and I just think that's thrilling to see in a time when maybe those things, the budgets get cut, unfortunately, more likely than not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're right. I share with Jeff that part of the system where you guys, the teachers, the administration, have put everything what you guys came in here with. Mm-hmm. I'm concerned. I'm worried. Because that much money. But I have always, in the previous superintendent, I always told him, until, and it might not be your problem or our problem, but until we Americans don't vote for different laws that can allow you teachers and me parents do something different with those kids, guess what? It doesn't matter how much money you put in it. That's my
No, and so that's a great point. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So you and I have talked about this before, and I think this is a great time to do so. Parental involvement, the role of parents, the role of community in the educational process.
Until you don't force the parent or you don't give the liberties to the teacher to do what we used to do, you know. I mean, I was a slap at the teacher.
Yeah.
I remember.
Discipline in the classroom.
I did, you know, and guess what, you know, I mean, I went to Yale a couple of times, you know, but not because of that, you know, but I made a family, I made a business, and I remember those old teachers that, you know, and there was all the time, you know, guess what now? Our government have tied you guys like this and have allowed us parents to dump on you something that is ours, you know. And you know, I mean, I'm a owner of a business, you know.
Right.
And guess what? I'm not gonna put more money into a bad business that I know how it works until I don't fix the situation.
Right.
Let's fix that. And guess what? You know, we'll have a great business.
So I think what he's talking about is a fantastic point of view. So how we invest as a government, as a school district, as a state, into our local school system, and how we kind of take things off of the plate of the teacher so they can do their jobs, and then incorporate the perspective of the parents so that they are, you know, partnering with us every single day so that they can do their job as parent, we do our job, having responsibility. What do you think about that? Just the connection between home and school and how that all works.
I think in terms of reaching out to parents, informing them, perhaps even having an app on their phones so that any new announcements or developments that are exciting, interesting, get to them, get to that app. I think that could be an idea. I just also think that when you have moments, maybe say a Friday or a Sunday, that the teachers get together for a social event someplace and talk with one another and talk with members of the community in the process. That's to the good. The good things you do get widely spread and understood. I think things like the way that teachers these days can connect email message directly to parents about how their kids are doing, good or bad.
Sure.
Those are time consuming things, but that's an ability that's there. And in that way, the public school movement can be promoted. In terms of discipline, my struggles as a college professor were just with the phone, so I'm not,
We struggle with that still in K-12 education today, I assure you.
Otherwise, it was trying to get them to talk and get them energized more. So I can't speak to that, but I can just speak to what I enjoyed when I was here, and that were teachers who did develop kind of a personal rapport with us rather than those maybe who had a more distant persona. I think teachers who can be more comfortable reaching out, getting to know people individually is to the good. I'm not going to say I was a master totally of that as a professor. I did as much as I could. You do as much as you can. But those things I think matter a lot.
Thank you. So I'm going to touch on biliteracy really quickly. So we have a lot of Spanish-speaking parents, Spanish literate parents and students, which is a superpower in my book, being fluent in two languages. I really wish that I was. But it's an area of criticism that I have for our district and for how we're doing communication. I think we have attempted, we're moving down that pathway. We have a district interpreter translator. We have multiple folks inside of our district who are bilingual, and we put out bilingual communications. But we can always do better, right? So the things that we're looking at doing in the community, the big picture items, the planning, the events, I would even say our school board meetings. You know, so I'm curious from a media perspective, and definitely from El Amigo's perspective, how can we do better? How can we communicate more authentically? Because 33% of our students are Spanish-speaking students, or they come from homes that are Spanish-speaking. So how do we do a better job in your estimation?
Superintendent, I mean, when you came, we offer you our support. We don't only do newspaper for Hope, yes, but in 20 years we have developed a very strong connection with those parents. It's good that David came on board, and as much as we can, we've been able to share what's important and who makes it good and who won the trophy. I'm gonna keep on saying the same, it also sometimes we have to share what the bad news is in here.
Sure.
So more communication is always gonna be needed. I think that we have to still connecting to the parenting issue, even though that I have heard always the Latinos have a different mindset as far as education. The truth is that I've seen it's easier to be lazy, to work hard as it's normal is put up there. You don't really have to excel yourself. From 10 families. 10 years ago, 10 families, it was expected all of them were going to go graduate and go to college. Now, I'm seeing that because those parents are younger, they're not even thinking about the school. So parenting, skills, man, how do we teach a new 20-year-old kid or 18-year-old kid to be a parent when he's still being, perhaps a child out here?
Correct. And so I think that's a good perspective. And we're, so in the coming years, we're leaning into we're calling it tentatively Parent Academy, right? And what that is for parents who are interested and need some additional support. We will provide our support to help teach them some of the things that maybe they don't know, right? As you mentioned before, and some people say the phrase, we have children raising children, right? The younger the parents are, sometimes they're not fully developed in some of those skills that we can support them on. Any take on that? How can we be better communicators, not just from a traditional standpoint, but from, a bilingual standpoint?
I think immersion is good. I think there's the opportunity when you have so many Spanish speakers, native Spanish speakers, and bilingual folk coming to school to harness them as potential teachers of their fellow students. So I would think leveraging the peer-to-peer connection on learning what is really an essential language in America can help.
I agree. So before we get here, I want to say, I want both of your help, okay? So as we move forward, I want us to be able to do a better job of communicating in English and in Spanish, right? And so obviously we're utilizing both media outlets. Let's do a better job of doing it collectively. So just be on the lookout for that. I appreciate both of you being here.
And let me tell you, I think that for that, it is a great thing to be in Hope.
Sure.
Because even in a hard thing like that, which is dealing with two cultures, two languages, we see the region. In Hope, you're still feeling that sense of care
And togetherness.
Yes,
I agree.
It's us. In here, we don't see you and him or not. No, it's Hope. Hope as a one. You don't see that in the Queen. The Queen is very divided. Texarkana is like that. Hot Springs, But Hope has that beauty of a small, fancy, not too far away town, close to Texarkana. So that's something that for that we're still being here, because we think that there's still hope for Hope.
I agree. I love that. Still hope for hope.
There's still hope for Hope.
That's good. All right, guys, our time's dwindling down. Thank you so much. But here's what we want to do. So, if you will, look in the camera and just maybe leave. We have students that watch this. We have parents that watch this, community members that watch us weekly. What message would you leave the audience with today?
I would say if you're a student or if you're a parent or if you're past schooling, your children have grown up perhaps, get to follow your curiosities, follow the questions you have about what is going on, and punch into them and read about them and get to know them. It's time well spent, and that can connect you with the rest of your community because your knowledge and interest becomes valuable.
Well said, Mr. Garcia.
Thank you. I know that I talk about the role the government has here, the lawmakers. But as a Christian, as American, as a parent, as a minister, I'm gonna tell everybody we have to go back to the root where we came from. You know, I love the basis of America as being a Christian country, because if we have God within your job, within what I do, within the school, within the country, guess what? A lot of situations are going to be soft like that. So, especially in kids, I know there's a lot of, back and forward thing for being public school, but I think the Supreme Court already gave permission, or teachers, some permission to express your beliefs. So guys, look for God, and that's the only way that we're gonna make it.
That's the root of it. Right?
That's the only way I think. I mean, you can put $1 million, $50 million in it, but if we don't have that principle, that belief, that is going to give us rules and guidance and restrictions and pleasures and blessings and all of that, it doesn't matter how much we're doing it. It's a lost battle.
Guys, you heard it here. I think getting back to the basics, having communication with each other. I want to spur you on as you're leaving the broadcast today, as you finish watching. Get out in the community. Talk to somebody that you might not talk to on a normal basis. Hear their perspective, hear what they're thinking, hear what they believe. And in doing that, I think we'll all be a better school district, we'll all be a better community, we'll all be a better country. Signing off, this is Dr. Jonathan Crossley, Hope Public Schools. We're all in.